and that person can ask the question. And also people can keep writing the questions into the chat box. As such, Karan will also explain it to you that this online query will be there onto the IDEX website, where all certain questions which are not being answered, or maybe there are certain queries which are still left, that online query line will be active, and there's all those questions which are there from the industries and the manufacturers will be answered into the subsequent in the written form, into the email form, and email details will be given by the Karan. So now I request Skonala Sharma to please kindly continue and give us a brief introduction about this problem statement. Soumya, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, everyone. I am Squad Leader Soumya Sharma. I am the project officer for development of a portable helicopter oxygen delivery system. So I will be covering the problem statement for the same. So as of now, there is no inbuilt oxygen delivery system in helicopters. The aircrew and passengers are required to carry independent oxygen delivery system. So we need an oxygen system that can deliver oxygen to aircrew and passengers at high altitude. So there is a requirement to develop a personal body carried oxygen delivery system capable of operating till 22,000 feet, along with all the adapters.
Sir, there is a lot of disturbance in the audio. We cannot hear anything.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear. I think there might be
a lot of disturbance.
Usual problem. Yeah.
So we have loud and clear audio. I think you need to check your audio, sir.
No, the previous officer was very audible, sir.
Sir, I will mute and
I'll
unmute
try
again.
to log in again once. Sorry.
You can please reconnect, please.
Right, sir. I'll reconnect.
Soma, you can continue.
Right, sir. So I will continue with the problem statement. So there is a requirement to develop a personal body carried oxygen delivery system capable of operating till 22,000 feet, along with all adapters for nasal delivery, pressurized delivery, warning alarms, and high pressure storage. The duration of operation should be minimum 1 hour and 30 minutes. The system that we want to procure should be lightweight for carriage on aircrew body. The oxygen bottle should be easily replaceable, and there should be a charging system for the mother cylinder and oxygen generators. The regulator should be able to reduce pressure as required for breathing. The rate of delivery must be capable or should be variable as required by pilots during flying and as required by passengers or crew for loading and unloading tasks. The alarm for low pressure, high pressure, no breaths should be deliverable by vibrations and oral alerts. This system should be operable up to 22,000 feet and corresponding temperatures. There must not be any restriction on carriage by air in unpressurized environment or rapid decompression scenarios during transportation. The certification for safe carriage and use by aircrew in all flying envelope of the helicopter must be provided. The complete system we need for cylinders, hoses, we need the delivery system, charging system, adapters, nasal delivery mechanism, and integration with the masks. And it should be used in all helicopters for aircrew and passengers. So the systems we need inside are development of high pressure oxygen bottles for operation till 22,000 feet and corresponding temperature. Number 2, development of oxygen regulator for operation till 22,000 feet and corresponding temperature. Number 3, development of an oxygen delivery system. Number 4, oxygen charging system. We need the certification for the complete system and development of the carriage system. In addition to this, the oxygen regulator that we need, we should be able to disconnect it and connect it with the already present fixed oxygen system which is in our aircraft. Also, the harness or the survivor gear jacket which will be provided, it should have enough pockets to hold personal rescue beacons or self-protection for the pilots. And if possible, a 5-point harness may also be provided so that in case recovery is to be carried out for a downed pilot, the same jacket can be used. I have finished, sir.
Once again, I really wanted to thank Soumya for the brief introduction. Now I request all the participants, they can ask their queries and doubts and clarify so that they have a better understanding of the system and the problem statement before they are submitting the proposals. We are now open to questions.
Hello, sir. This is Commander Anand Mohan.
Yeah,
Sir,
Mr. Anand, Commander Anand, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. So I had a few questions, sir. So I might have missed something that you would have covered because I was having a bit of an audio problem, so I relogged in. So please bear with me if that is the case. My first question is the system which is there, is it intended for some sort of a casualty evacuation medical kind of a thing, or is it for general purpose use to cover all situations?
sir,
Commander Anand, basically we are looking for this problem statement as a regular operation use, not as for
Operation.
only for a cashback situation in which we are
Right.
looking for it. Presently,
Right.
what the system which we are using, it is
Yes.
cumbersome. It has a very big bottle. To carry that bottle and to operate outside the helicopter, it's very, very difficult. So we want an integral part of a jacket kind of thing where this miniaturized high pressure bottle is there, which can be fitted into the jacket and you can operate like you have seen in high altitude. When the gunner goes outside for loading offloading, he has to disconnect from that bottle, and that time he's not been supplied with the oxygen, which is very
Right.
critical at operation at those altitude. So
Right.
we want such a portable system which is very easy to carry, and where the crew, especially the flight gunners or the sometimes pilot or the co-pilot, has to go outside for supervising the loading and all. So it is very, very convenient for them. And also in survival cases where it can
Right.
be a jacket mounted thing where pilot is able to do its all other functions and all other things in case of survival also in a better way.
Right. So the jacket will be a deliverable, sir?
AFM, that is, we are looking after a full system, as already the Soumya has covered the details of it, with full independent system, with which includes this jacket also.
So because I don't think there are any specifications per se mentioned about the jacket material or any requirements of it.
That
So
is, this is not the stage. We are only specifying the problem statement at this stage, so that everyone, all the partners, all developers come to the same level and they have
right.
understood the problem well. And then when the proposal stage will come, then definitely we will be giving more detail about when the PDS PRU stage comes, where we are explaining in more depth. However, today's session is restricting it to the problem statement, what exactly
Right.
problem we are facing and what
Right.
challenges we want that manufacturers to undertake and resolve our problem.
Right. So one more question. This charging system, or I think somewhere it's called mother cylinder. What is the mother cylinder that you have? Charging system for mother cylinder. What is the mother cylinder, sir, in your understanding?
Basically, present system, we are carrying, let's say, 1.5 liter, 2 liter, and till 5 liters, we have a bottles. These
Right.
bottles needs to be filled from a mother cylinder, which has a capacity of, let's say, 50 liters, 100
That's at the
liters.
base. That will be at the
Yeah,
base.
base. So these
Base.
bottles needs to be refilled for every sortie. So
Right.
likewise, whatever we are going to develop inside the
Sir.
jacket, that pressurized bottle needs to be refilled. So that it will require to be refilled once the sortie is over, because the duration we have asked for, but at least for a minimum of 1.5 hours, that is
Right.
90 minutes. So these bottles needs to be refilled. So that mother cylinders needs to be provided and the connectivity so that these bottles can be refilled. And
Understood. Understood. And also there's a mention of oxygen generators. What is oxygen generator, sir?
Soumya
Is
would
that
like to take this question.
Sir, confirm you were asking about oxygen generator.
yes, sir?
Sir, I was speaking about oxygen regulator. I did not mention oxygen generator.
No. In the problem statement over there in the Aditi document,
Sir,
the line says the system must be lightweight for carriage on aircrew body, easily replaceable oxygen bottles, charging system for mother cylinder, and oxygen generators. So I just wanted to check on that.
Basically,
sir,
these pre-filled cylindrical structures are there where the large amount of quantity is stored in a pressurized way of oxygen, which is being shifted to these small bottles, which will be the integral part of this jacket. However, these mother cylinders also needs to fill maybe it will be supplied from the somewhere, or maybe filling system for these mother cylinders needs to be also thought of. But however, we
Right.
are not looking, that is a secondary requirement. Primary
Right.
requirement is this integral jacket. The
Yes.
small cylinder which will be fitted into this jacket should be
Right.
able to refill it.
Okay, sir. Okay. And one more question is, do you anticipate the breathing requirement to be positive pressure breathing or on-demand breathing, sir?
Sir, it should be demand type, sir.
Demand-based breathing?
Correct, sir.
Okay, sir. Right, sir.
But definitely Soumya has brought out very good point that it needs to be regulated with lots of warning generated when the pressure is low, pressure is high, pressure is not there, any leakage is there. That kind of
The regulation
indication
is automatic. When it is on-demand breathing, there is not too much of regulation which is required. Of course, cylinder warnings, etc., what you mentioned, that can be taken care of. That's not a problem. It's only when it is positive pressure that there is regulation which is required to be provided, actually. Because then you're varying the flow rate manually by yourself. If it's on demand, then the system is supposed to adjust to the rate of breathing of the individual, and equilibrium is set based on the pace of the breathing of each individual.
However, there is an additional provision which is required in case of a hypoxic condition when the pilot reaches to require 100% oxygen, and that override factor should also be catered in this kind of design. When there are certain situations where pilot requires to use 100% oxygen, and so that needs to be catered for when the designing is happening.
Understood, sir. But I think that's an entirely it would be different to this regular breathing. I'll have to check
If you'll
up
go
how
through
that.
the manuals and if you'll go through the already existing system which is there online, you will able to understand what I mean. In
Okay.
case of emergency situation, that override factor with pilot needs to be there, where he
Understood.
knows there is no control rate following, and he is getting 100% oxygen because he is feeling dizzy, or maybe he is getting into the hypoxic condition.
Got it. Okay, sir. Understood. I will check up. Will there be possibility that we can get some pointers about where we could find this data?
Online it is available. You will get the oxygen delivery system for the helicopters, or maybe for the aircrafts. You will get a lot of data about it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commander Anand, sir. Sir, we have like other participants in the loop. May I request Air Commodore PK Chaudhary, sir? Any queries from your side, sir?
What I was asking, we are going more detail on functioning, that how the breathing is going to be there. The Commander Anand has brought it out a very valid point, that if we are talking about the natural breathing, then natural breathing has to be considered in that, and the system has to be made like that. Then somebody from DID brought it out, hypoxia conditions where the 100% breathing has to be there. So these all conditions, are you going to put as a requirement document when you are going to give the PDS PRU? Because you see, each of these things are going to make the design and changes very critical. When we're talking about the warning signals, when we are talking about the hypoxia conditions. So these conditions, there can be two ways. When altitude is very high, at that time this can be considered. When person is having some issues, then that can be also that conditions. So these all has to be, when we talked about a system, then system looks at it only as per the environment conditions. So are you going to make all these points as a part of the PDS PRU so that it can be articulated and it can be made a good document for startup to take up this for a development? I'm talking to the DID and the owner of the challenge.
Chaudhary, very valid point you have brought out, sir. We wanted to say that definitely we are looking for a futuristic thing, and at present also we have similar kind of systems. But only that thing is that it is bulky and it is not able to. It is very difficult to carry from a place A to B, and to work with that kind of bulky system, it is really very difficult. However, we are looking for such kind of requirements, since you know, sir, this project is being launched under Aditi, sir, where the budget is also higher for D&D. and the final supply will happen later. But definitely for this kind of system, we wanted to have a robust system which actually covers the varied situation in case of emergencies also. It just not be a simplified oxygen delivery system. It has to have certain functions, certain override factions, and certain criticalities which will be faced by aircrew, which needs to be resolved, and which will be a part of PDS and PRO. When any winner company comes, we will have a detailed procedure and the things requirement we will be putting into that PDS PRO, sir.
So can I just interrupt you in between? So when the generation thing came, you see, you have got a one very good point. You brought it out that you have one which is bulky. That is so you want that this should be lighter, and the air crew can carry this with ease. So in this case, there are systems. Are you considering O-box type of a system, on-board oxygen generation system, or what are you? Because these are thought upon when we all are discussing these points. Because generation point, when somebody brought it out, then that was turned down. That no, generation is not at this stage. You are only looking at the lighter bottle to be carried. So, and the project, when I find it is of Aditi, which you have brought it out, it is a really of a great impetus, and strategical consideration should be taken into account. So, what are we thinking about? Just I'm leaving these questions even for the you all to consider. Are we considering something like a O-box type of thing, on-board oxygen generation type, which can be sleek and which can be better for that thing? So let us consider on these parts and make it elucidate it better when the winner comes. Because when we talk about the winner to come, so from these group only who are attending this, they will conceptualize that and they will go and present to you. So until unless they have got this concept very clear that what is in your mind, I think that is required to be looked into. That was my submission.
So we are not looking any kind of oxygen generation in air, and it will be definitely refilled one. The bottles which will be integral part of jackets, which has to be refilled on ground from the mother cylinder. We are not looking for such a complex system where it is converting any kind of air into oxygen and it is continuously delivering. No, we are not looking. We are only looking for a basic thing where this jacket can have at least minimum storage of at least 90 minutes. Where is it integral part, and these bottles may be refilled once we have the sorties over, or maybe when the pilot is coming for the turnaround servicing, and then it is replacing these bottles, so that same jacket can have this very quick plug and play of these bottles, and this system is again operational. And at the same time, Soumya has also brought out that we are also looking if we have a certain other bottles which can be fitted into cargo compartments. There are some hoses which are coming, which should be which has a integration part of these hoses, so that in case the pilot wants to save that kind of oxygen which is there into the jacket, he can save that bottle, and he can also utilize the onboard storage bottles where he can take that oxygen, and so that his play time while flying may increase. So, but however, we are not generation of oxygen, we are not looking at it.
Okay. Then, but you are not avoiding that it can be liquid also, because which can be converted into, means which will get converted, because when you are talking
actually
about
I don't want it to actually maybe that gives some very, already there are many systems which are available. If you people can research on it, for Chinooks and Apaches in our western fleets, they are already operating it in the names of PHUDS pods, and definitely this oxygen delivery system is already there. But definitely I don't want to restrict the manufacturers and the designers to just get maybe fixated with one kind of idea. So that's why we wanted that all manufacturers and innovators to really think and come up with some good solution. However, for a reference purpose, for scanning the industry, there are many things which is available.
No, but what I will submit you at this stage, you see, we are trying to develop something, and what has your knowledge, because since Indian Air Force is working in this particular field, it's no harm in giving examples. So what I'm talking to you, it will be easy for the startup to through. You see, if you can, you do not map the whole thing, but if you can bring it out to them, it helps them to understand that part, because many of them will have that idea, will have that acumen or talent, but they haven't got access to those things. So that
Okay,
part
sir.
also
Okay, sir.
I will
I
request.
got your point, sir, and definitely sorry to interrupt, sir, in between. So what I will do, sir, there is an online. You people can definitely PHODS and oxygen delivery system for Chinooks and Apaches. There already lot of proven designs are already there. But definitely, we would like to have an indigenized way, because the IDDM content we are looking at it. People should not be collaborating with any outside firms and then they are giving us to us. We want that it should be developed, so that this kind of technology should also be available, because we wanted to customize it for various kind of helicopters in various kind of conditions. So that's my only submission, and we be continuing with the other questions also, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Anand? You have raised your hand. Mr. Anand Kulkarni?
Yes.
I've got a small.
Also, sir, there is a short request from our side due to paucity of time. So if you can keep your queries very brief, because sir, we have like ATXDIO also has queries posting page. So you can post your detailed queries directly to the
My
DIO.
query is very, very simple. I just want to know, do you have any specific size of the bottle in mind? Because you have said that the present system is very bulky. So I just want to know if you have something specific in mind as to the size and the pressure at which you want it to be operated.
That will be answered once you are putting out this online query, and we will be giving in writing, so that at least people will get a range and the size and the pressure requirement which we are looking at it. We'll be posting it online.
Okay.
Also, there is, I think, Group Captain Raghunath, sir.
Yeah, oh, thank you
Raise
so
your hand.
much for noticing my hand. I've been up right from the beginning. Good
Sorry.
afternoon to everybody, and it was interesting to hear to the discussions. Okay, I have a couple of points. First and foremost is you're looking for a portable oxygen bottle to be carried in a jacket by the crew and the passengers. What is the weight that you're looking for, max weight of this jacket?
We are looking,
Sir,
sir, that it should not be heavier than the 3 to 4 kgs, sir. Otherwise, definitely it will again create an additional hindrance. Max weight, and but definitely as light as possible. Whatever material which we are utilizing with good kind of hoses, which is having a very light weight. So we are looking for a very compact design and a very lighter weight. However, it should be less than 5 kg.
Okay, you also understand that the helicopter crew, while flying over sea and all that, also wear life jackets, which itself has its own, bottles and all that. So this is going to be worn over that, or it's you expect it only for high altitudes with only the jacket and no life jackets?
Sir, basically it will be utilized in mountainous terrain. So this jacket will be utilized about 10,000 feet. And in case of survival also, this should give an additional warmth to the air crew, so that it is also helpful in kind of survival, because some kind of material will be utilizing in designing these jackets. So those are the requirements, because about 10,000 feet, we all know that temperatures are lower. So we want that kind of material which can provide warmth, which should be lightweight, and definitely which will be majorly utilized towards the high altitude operations only.
Understood. Second question is the face mask would also have the electric mic installed, or is it a separate attachment that you're looking for?
Sir, already we have an integrated helmet. However, we are looking for other designs when these nozzle pipelines are coming through helmet integration. If required, then definitely innovators can look into it, or maybe the how this nozzle is reaching to the pilot nose nostril areas, how it will be reaching, and that will be living up to the innovators' imagination.
Well, definitely, it has to reach through the face mask only. But my question was, it will also have the electric mics. The existing face masks would need to be modified, or we would the innovators need to provide a face mask integrated with the electric mic also.
Sir, I would like to answer this question. Scholar leader Soumya Sharma this side.
Yeah.
Sir, already in the market, if we search on open source, there are systems which have a separate nasal cannula. So there is no need, as of if we see on internet, there is no need to connect the mask with the mic. So we have a separate mic boom. If required, the system can be developed in such a way that directly nasal cannula are provided for the pilots. And additionally, it can be attached to the helmet. So maybe through the regulator, the pipeline comes, there is an attachment onto the helmet, and the nasal pipe through the cannula goes into the pilot's nostrils.
Okay, noted. We'll come up with some innovations on that. The third question was the backward compatibility of the regulators. We have something in mind with the existing systems or the bottles already installed in the helicopter?
Sir, presently we are using fixed bottles. With these bottles, there are hoses in which we connect our oxygen mask. The problem that the pilots face with this, that the system is fixed. Second, this system cannot be taken out in case of a crash landing or something. The pilots cannot carry the system outside. And thirdly, we regularly operate with night vision goggles. So utilizing the mask with the present system along with NVGs is very cumbersome. So we want a system which can cater for all these needs.
Okay, got it. And the final question is about the generators. In case the oxygen bottle needs to be filled up, a portable oxygen generator can be placed at your operating airfields, which can be used for charging the bottles, and your 1.5 hours of oxygen time for the bottle, because you would make a sortie to and fro. So at the operating basis, you are looking for something for oxygen generation and filling a portable.
Sir, we will restrict our requirements that we will be taking this mother cylinder, and from there we will be shifting our oxygen requirement to these small bottles, which will be an integral part of the jacket. So that generator might not be positioned, because we will have already system in place where the mother cylinders are positioned at the forward basis.
Thank you, sir. Major Sika, do you have any questions from your side?
Sir, hello, can you hear us?
Yes, you are audible. You can put up your questions.
Yeah, there was a point that the regulator of the pod should be capable or to be interfaced to the oxygen system in the aircraft. What is that oxygen system in the aircraft, sir?
Sir, Scholar Soumya Sharma this side. So presently
Yes,
we have a fixed oxygen system in which we have bottles which are charged on the base, and these bottles are fitted inside the aircraft.
Okay.
From these bottles, there are hoses or pipelines which are connected to the aircrew's oxygen mask, and the mask is worn by the pilots.
Okay.
So this is a fixed system. What we want is a portable helicopter oxygen delivery system.
So the regulator of the portable oxygen system should be capable to be plugged into the bottles available, so that you can just in the aircraft system, sir, from the aircraft system, maybe during for your refilling or anything like that, or you're looking at, or how is it, sir?
Correctly, sir. So
Sir, just a second. Sir, we are looking for a redundancy, so that this system is independent. However, the older system which we are having, we wanted to utilize that system also. For that, we require some kind of integration already should be available in the in terms of design.
That means the personal oxygen delivery system bottles or the regulator can be interfaced with the existing oxygen bottle, so that you can refill from the aircraft system also.
Yeah, that is only for redundancy, so that we have two systems available, and at least if there is some problem, or maybe that bottle is not charged, at least we have an additional system which is already there and which is compatible to this system.
Okay. So the more details of the interfaces, maybe we can get it at the later stages when we go ahead.
Soon we will be publishing that also.
Okay. And my next question was, what is the certification body involved, sir, in this? When you say certification, is it only IAF or
Quality assurance will be required, because this is the equipment which has been carried inside the cockpit and when the aircraft is flying. So all those certification which is required for pressurized bottles needs to be carried in varied environment where the pressure changes is so high. We are asking till 22,000 feet. All those kind of quality assurance and certification will be required.
the quality assurance as such, yes, sir. But is there any specific body nominated, or is it only IAF, which like a firm we have to get in touch with only IAF for the certification, or what is the clearance process, sir, for the certification? Or is there any
Sir-
other third party or any involvement is there for the certification body?
Can you please repeat the question, please? I'm Dr. Thakur here.
Sir, when you talk about the certification, sir,
Yeah.
is it the certification only by IAF or is there any
No.
party?
The IF is not a certification agency. For certification, we have got complete Similac process are there. So certification will be from Similac.
It will be from Similac. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, I got it. And my question was, you said development, sir. What is
I
the
could not get your question, please.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Sika, tell me. I can hear your question, please. Repeat your question, please.
When you say development, is there any specific percentage of Indian content, sir, in this?
Yeah. See, anything in development, D&D, particularly for IDEX, it has to be 50% additive content has to be there.
Okay, 50%. Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's a minimum. Higher
Okay,
is definitely
sir.
accepted, desirable, but 50 is minimum. It's a sacrosanct figure.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sika. We have last question from Mr. Webho. Do you have any question?
Sir, my first question is number of troops which are currently there in the helicopters. So we'll have to calculate number of cylinders which are required. Hello.
Yeah, what's your question, Mr. Vaibhav? I could not understand the question.
Sir, number of troops in the specified helicopters. How many number of troops are there in the helicopters?
Let's ask.
Sir, Squad Leader Soumya Sharma this side. Sir, we want quantity of the helicopter oxygen delivery system. If we have a fixed number of quantity, it can be utilized with lot number than actually there are in the aircraft. For example, role wise in a normal sortie we need only 3 jackets. However, in case we are going for air maintenance sorties, we might require another jacket, one more jacket for the loader who is in the passenger compartment. So, and this figure of passengers in an aircraft will vary across fleets in the Indian Air Force. For my class of aircraft, total number of passengers that the aircraft can carry is 16. However, that also varies with the type of mission that we are undertaking.
Soumya, very nicely brought out. Vaibhav, actually, he's just bringing out that number of passengers will be an independent thing, depending upon the space available and the storage capacity of the aircraft or cargo compartment. So that is independent. So you have to develop an independent system which will be utilized by the pilots as well as for the passengers.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
बस ऑक्सीजन जनरेशन का पूछ लो मोबाइल कैसे रहेगा
Thank you,
Can I have
everyone.
a final question?
Yeah.
Sir, can I have a final question, please?
Please keep it short, sir. Please.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to understand what would be the method for selecting the winner or the success criteria in this case, because there may be different approaches given by different people. Is the cost indicated also a criteria or only the solution? What would be the method to determine this?
Commander Ananda, there is a laid down procedure for selection of the startup. So that thing will be covered to you by Mr. Anurag subsequently. Right now, we are concentrating only on the technical aspect. These are different aspects he will be covering for subsequently. For that, we have got a high power selection committee is there. High power selection committee is comprised of various dignitaries starting from academia, industry, and IF reps, individual reps. So based on their opinion, there's a marking system is there, and this is assessed.
Right, right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
May I just request another question? I got disconnected from the network, so I couldn't ask the last question, if you permit. This is Group Captain Raghunath.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sorry. So the question about the jackets that is going to be worn by the air crew, would the air crew be wearing any other suit like a G suit or any other thing over which this jacket is worn, because it should not impede his access to the controls?
Squad Swami, are you taking this question?
Yes, sir, I'm taking this question, sir. Sir, what we are envisaging here is in high altitude operations, there are areas in which we might have to wear bulletproof jackets over this jacket which will be provided to us. So either the jacket which is being developed should be bulletproof, or it should be lightweight and thin so that we can wear the bulletproof jackets over this.
Okay, this brings in an additional complexity in the entire design of the jacket, because for a bulletproof material, obviously you need aramid fabric, and aramid fabric has its own complexities involved.
Raghu sir, Vinkamada Shailesh, just I will like to interrupt, sir. And sir, bulletproof jackets requirement will be separate, sir, and this jacket requirement will be separate. However, as the Soumya brought out, sir, there will be additional things which aircrew will be wearing, jackets he is wearing for cold temperatures and all, and that will be a separate part, sir. We are looking for a certain jacket which is so portable so that he can have a comfortable usage of oxygen. Regarding armor capability and all, that will be separate, sir.
Yeah, that's precisely why I asked, because if the pilot is wearing additional suits or jackets or any other body suit or something like that, this jacket should be made so compatible that it easily is being able to worn and taken out easily. So that will get additional information based on the queries that we would.
Sir, in later stages, when the winner is decided, when the PDS PRV is formulated, we will give the opportunity to the innovator so that he can have a look, and definitely all these complications can be resolved. And
That's
that
so nice. That's very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Shailesh sir? Anurag here, sir?
Yeah, is there any other question?
Sir, right now I cannot see any hands raised, sir, and no chat box, sir. So we can move on to the next problem statement, sir.
Just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. I'm again requesting to feel free to give all queries. If your queries are not there right now, if you have some other queries subsequently, please feel free to forward those queries to us so that it is resolved. Before you give your proposal, please feel free to give any other queries what you are having in your mind. Not necessarily right now, even a day or 2 or 3 4 days, even after this particular session. If you feel there's some unresolved queries, please feel free to give the questions.
Sir, एक last question था मेरा.
Amit, actually, we are lack of time, and we request you that IDEX is going to open a query portal on our website. So you can post your query on that, and we can forward it to the nodal agency.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
And we will forward that answer to you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we can proceed for the next problem statement, sir.
Please, let's move for the next question. Mr. Anurag, this will take 30 seconds to get the new nodal officer for that. Just 30 seconds.
Okay, sir.
Group Captain Bakshi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, fine.
Karan, Vinkamada Shailesh, could you just cross-check that all the participants who are supposed to attend this session is available?
Yes, sir. Participants are there, sir.
Then I think if all participants are there, and we have a group captain Vikram Bakshi from the directorate, sponsoring directorate, and I would request Bakshi sir to kindly continue with the session, sir. And as already we are all aware that we will take the questions once people will have a chat box raising their hands, and one by one all the queries will be resolved. And now group captain Vikram Bakshi sir will take us into the brief problem statement stated by the Indian Air Force. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. So this is regarding the development of air portable rubberized fuel tanks for the purpose of transportation of fuel from one location to the other, and especially the areas which are difficult terrains, and it is difficult for the fuel to be positioned. So based on this requirement, the problem statement has been culled out, wherein the specifications and the design considerations have been adequately covered in the problem statement. So we may go ahead and deliberate on the requirements and various technical aspects related to this particular product. If I can add on little, because fuel being the most essential aspect which has to be available for the purpose of air operations, and through the existing supply chain mechanism, the availability of fuel is ensured at different locations wherein the operations can be undertaken. But there are certain areas where availability of fuel itself becomes a challenge, because either because of the terrain or as such non-availability of infrastructure. In such cases, the rubberized fuel tanks, RFTs as we call them, can be a solution wherein we can swiftly move and transport the required fuel at the required destination, so that it can be used for different purposes. So especially the fuel which is used for aviation, as we call it as ATF, it has a specified life. So it is not possible for us to position it and keep it for a longer term. So for this purpose, it is imperative that we have some kind of a transportation solution to it, and we can move it quickly. Worldwide, there have been different usages of these rubberized fuel tanks, wherein these are utilized for transportation of different grades of fuels, including ATF, and also the main grade fuels such as diesel, petrol, and kerosene oil, etc. The aspects related to its design and development, including the specification of the product that we are, as of now, we are seeking, have been adequately covered in the problem statement. And we can have now the question answers which are related, which is in terms of its specifications or otherwise, so that the issue can be addressed by the industry. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Group Captain Vikram. If I can take on the first question, I'm Group Captain Raghunath.
Sir, you may please go ahead.
Yeah, the problem statement states rubberized fuel tanks. Now, are you very specific about rubberized fuel tanks? Because ATF is very corrosive, and using rubberized fuel tanks would definitely be a challenge in the first instance. Secondly, you also mentioned that it is transportation only and not storage, because storage would involve additional complexities. Being rubberized, being a material which can easily get corroded by the ATF. So could you throw some light on that? I have a couple of more questions after that.
Sure, sir. So when it comes to the corrosive attribute of ATF, so we expect these rubberized fuel tanks to be internally coated for prevention of fuel contamination, as well as any I would say prevention it from corrosion. That is one. Why rubberized? Because worldwide there have been use of such materials which these tanks has a certain life. And also, if you go through the problem statement, it covers that these not only for the transportation but also for the storage. Like we can create the, we must have the provision for connecting these tanks, wherein we can create a fuel park, and which can be utilized for different purposes. So hope that addresses the query.
Yeah, okay. So basically these would be fuel storage bladders, which would be interconnected for giving more capacity. Now, if it has to be kept at a place, that means you're going to carry it and place it at a site and then create a fuel park there. So this transportable, air transportable would also involve what size are you looking for and what is the mechanism of transportation that you're looking for?
So the sizes which has been brought out in the problem statement is about 2,000 liters. And when we say that it has to be transportable, it should be, we should be in a position to drag it on terrain, or it should be, we should be in a position to have some kind of arrangement wherein it can be airlifted through underslung operations for fixed wing helicopters.
Okay, so fuel being transported underslung and is a possibility?
Yes, it is being done not here, but then otherwise it is being done as a solution towards availability of fuel at.
Okay, because that would involve creating harnesses for the fuel bladder for the underslung operations. Okay, this point is noted. And the final this thing is, would you also consider delivering fuel out of these fuel bladders in a pressurized way, or a pump or some kind of an adapter which can directly refuel the maybe the helicopters or the aircraft or water systems? Are you planning for that also?
Yes, that has to be part of this particular system. Otherwise, because otherwise it will be difficult for us to utilize this fuel once it reaches a particular location. So ideally, it should have an inbuilt pumping mechanism wherein once it is positioned at a certain location, it should be able to facilitate refueling to the aircraft without any add-ons required at that place.
Okay, right. Thank you so much.
Just to get a slight add-on to it, Venkamada Shailesh from DAD, for everyone consumption, actually, as I already covered, we don't want to give any ready-made solution so that people's ideas, creativity get restricted. But however, just for a reference purpose, if somebody wants to understand what kind of system we are looking at it, so there is just for a reference and for an environmental scan, there is known as Blivet Fuel Park, BLIVET. If you will just type it as a fuel park into the internet open domain, you will able to see some Westerns are already using something this kind of structure where the specific capacity and the storage and the, as the Vikram sir has already covered, that it is easy, needs to be towed, and how this design drum-like structure is already there, which can even can shift fuel from one drum to another drum, or maybe this one unit to another unit, and multiple units can be interconnected, and this fuel can be delivered to from these units to the helicopters. So just for a reference purpose and for an environmental stand, people can go through it before they are finalizing the proposal.
I am Aditi 2.0. Are you able to hear me, Group Captain Vikram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, I will just ask the same extent what Group Captain Raghunandan has asked you. You see, there are challenges with the rubberized tank. I definitely, what DAD has given, that they must be having. But in our conditions, I'm talking about the tropical conditions, the microbiological growth in the fuel tank, when you are talking about storage, you must be aware of that in our aircraft. When it is there, then you have to take a lot of things and the tank cleaning and all that. So from then I'll convert it from there to maintainability part of it. So the moment these type of things are there, have we thought about it? That what is the maintainability required for this particular tank? Because what I am envisage that a rubberized tank maintenance is quite difficult. When there is no fuel, then it has to be hung, and then only it can be entered inside. If you're talking about 2,000 liter, so this, if I recapitulate this type of thing in my mind, what do you think that life cycle cost and all those things consideration should be taken up? Or do you think that a framework should be made on this, then only this collapsible tank should be taken? What is, because I saw your problem statement, The problem statement is quite comprehensive, but they are talking about only design and development. When we talk about the usability of this particular tank, then if you talk about the globe, then whenever maintenance will be taken, there will be no fuel in this tank. So these all things I think is required to be discussed and to be brought up by you in more clarity. Because what I have seen today in the startup world, they are only working out on that till the product is developed and prototype is developed. Life cycle thing is remaining a part that has to be looked into when we are talking about this rubberized tank.
Sir, just a small input from the dad, sir. Sir, just we are looking for a technical kind of equipment where whatever the problems as stated by the Vikram sir, that we are facing a problems for a quick delivery system, and when in case of any contingency or in case of any hostility or in case of any HADR situation, this fuel needs to be transferred. We are not looking out for a storage condition which is prolonged and for a very prolonged amount of time. We are looking for a technical deployment kind of thing where our flexibility increases. So that is the design which we have kept in mind, and we are asking all the industries to put up their mind and their creativity so that they will able to provide us that kind of solution, which is giving us the technical value and the duration and the quantity of fuel also. We are keeping it to a limited quantity where it has enhances our operational reach, flexibility, and our quick reaction to the any situation which happens. Yeah,
Do you
including
have
the
in your mind
transportation
how
of
many
these
use?
individual units, sir.
To add
No, I
to
understood.
Wing
How many
Commander
use?
Shailesh, sorry, sir. To add to what Wing Commander Shailesh just now said, sir, and also based on your query, first is that we have in past used these rubberized tanks, but then these tanks were not transportable. It was like it was placed at one location and thereafter it was used. So as far as the contamination of fuel is concerned, that can be taken care because there is a mechanism when we deal with the oil company. So there is a mechanism to decontaminate it and then thereafter make it use worthy. So that aspect can be taken care. And also idea is not to store it for a longer period. It is only that we can maybe position it and thereafter utilize it as per the requirements. Once it is not in use, we can keep it empty and sanitize in such a way that it is again use worthy. As and when we need it, we can straight away put the fuel and transport it.
Okay, but still, the thing which I want to get convinced is that you see there are two ways to do that. As you brought it out, that has to be a mechanism also when it can refuel. The tank when they are going to make it and it is going to be transported by an aircraft, then it has to have a certain pressure release valve has to be there, because it cannot be made just a tank which is on ground level tank. So these all conditions when we talk about when it has to be their breathing system, then it has to have a what we call a refueling capacity, means refueling systems there, whatever it can be there. Either it can be pressurized and refuel, or you can put in a mechanism and refuel. So these all, then there has, when you are investing this much of money, a fund in this, so you must have expected that what should be the, because I understand that it is only for the tactical conditions, but tactical conditions you can utilize, but you will not throw it. It is not an use and throw. So it will be brought back. It will again be kept somewhere and then it can be used subsequently whenever it is required during off period or during training period. So my condition was that can it be dwelt upon that also, so that costing can be accordingly worked out by the industries. They're looking at that what life expectancy would be there, what life cycle cost should be there, so that investment can be worked out on that ground.
Certainly, sir. It is expected to have a certain life wherein we can use it for the sustained period, sir. Just because this being rubberized, it cannot happen that it's a one-time use or single use and thereafter be discarded, because that way will not be able to achieve the value for money. So that way it has to the design has to be, material design has to be such that we can keep it for a longer duration, and we can use it for multiple usages based on requirement as it emerges, sir.
That's good. Okay. It has to be thought through and then worked out on that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any further questions from online participants?
Karan, you can reiterate regarding the point of online queries.
Yeah. Hello. I'm audible?
You're audible. You can proceed with your questions.
First of all, I just thought whether I got confused. Are you talking about problem statement number 15, isn't it? Rubberized fuel tank.
Right.
It is under problem. So I
Problem
was
statement 15 it is.
15. When I read the problem statement, it is all talking about the storage. No, it has to be transportable with the helicopter or like that. Also, you are talking, isn't it? In the problem statement, up to 5 lakh capacity it is coming, but you are looking for up to 2000 liter, isn't it? Capacity. When I read the problem statement,
Mr. Sikka, if you don't mind, I sorry to interrupt. I just maybe just for a clarity, I will just quickly rush through the requirements which we have given so that you have a better understanding. So we have asked for air portable rubberized fuel tank of 2000 liters usable capacity for transportable till 18,000 feet in unpressurized environment, less than at least 200 kg dead weight, internal coating for prevention of any kind of fuel contamination. These are the just desirable things, and I'm quickly rushing through so that people are on the same page. Air-driven electrical refueling system for pressurized and unpressurized refueling up to 15,000 feet altitude. Carriage hooks for underslung carriage by helicopters. Tie-down points for carriage by aircraft cargo compartments. Carriage skid boards for fitment in C-17 and C-130 class of aircraft, where it can be fitted and it can be carried easily onto the skid board. Capable of dragging, rolling onto the rough ground when tied behind the vehicle for repositioning, so that we need not to require any kind of separate vehicle so that we can easily reposition it. Capable of shifting by crane and hand rolled for repositioning. So it will be so easily hand rolled where the minimum amount of manpower can place from one place to another. Interconnection making fuel par with each other. Indication for fuel left sampling and fuel water ingress in the fuel. Purging for leftover fuel. Reusable overextended operations, which is a requirement, and long shelf life, which already we have talked about. So these are the basic requirements which we have expected. And however, in detail, PDS PRO formulation will be specifying the technical requirements as such.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
You see, DAD, what is brought it out, Group Captain Vikram, what I was trying to tell you. You see, you have said long life. You have said it can be rolled on the ground. So when we are making a rubberized tank to be rolled on the ground, all that, so it has to be looked through. That's why I'm talking to all the participants also who all are there.
I just interrupt, sorry to interrupt you, sir. So, the problem statement what we're talking, so just give the broad description of the things and
so,
what
I am discussing. Just a minute. Let me complete what I want. What I am trying to talk about, that it has to look through the life cycle management of this particular system.
So what this thing we leave, sorry to interrupt once again, sir. These things we leave to the creativity and innovativity of the startup, sir. These all things have a designer has to look into. That's what we are trying to say, sir.
And to add on, sir, to your query, such rubberized fuel tanks have been in existence. Only thing is that it is better that we create it in-house and utilize it for longer durability as well as usage, sir. So that way, it is not that the life itself is a concern, as you brought out. I'm sure.
No, what my saying was that are you very firm on the word rubberized? That was my question. That
What else
this
is
was
the option,
also
sir?
asked by no, there can be some can give you the light aluminum made with, putting a wear resistant surface on the top of it. So when it is a fuel filled, it will have the same volume to put on your aircraft as it will be rubberized tank. You are
So-
not planning that it will take inside the aircraft and then refuel it. Then
So
it is there, it will
metallic
collapse
tanks are as such, sorry to interrupt, sir. Metallic tanks are as such in existence. So, I mean, there is nothing that once we making it rubberized, it has a certain added, I would say, advantages
What is
as
that?
compared to the metal.
That's why, you see, the startup should understand that what is the benefit which you are trying to accrue out of the rubberized tank. See, when that will come to their mind, then only they will see the design and everything. When somebody wants to design it, then he has to have in his mind that what is your main concept. Why do you want this type of rubberized tank? Then for that particular person, why not metal round globe type of tank I can give you? So,
Sir, may I interpret, sir? May I fill in? So the thing is, this is what we have brought out. So our main concern requirement is that we want it to transportable. We want to position this thing as and when required with the help of helicopter by road or a transport aircraft to the far-flung places where the requirement is there. This is one of the requirements, sir, and this is why looking lightweight. This is why we are asking for rubberized thing. We want a certain strength in this material. We want it lightweight. So we want it portable. We want it to be easy to handle in ground as well as in air. These are the things. This is why we are talking about in that line.
okay. So that's why I meant your firm that it has to be of rubberized only.
Yes, sir. As of now, yes. If you have got some better material with better handling thing, then you can propose that.
Okay.
But as of now, with our understanding, it is rubberized metal only which can solve all the purpose. If you have got some better thing to talk about, let us discuss that thing. We can discuss things in HPSC.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but okay. Let's close it here only.
Thank you, sir. Any more queries? I think, sir, there are no more queries from the online participants. So we can just wind up the session. Wing Commander Shailesh, sir?
Shailesh, do you want to wrap up once again? I think I'm wrong.
Sir, Ankur this side, sir.
Mr. Karan?
Yes, sir.
I think there are still some queries are there. Please ask once again to them. Is there any query? Then we can resolve those queries. If any
Sure,
queries
sir.
are, definitely would like to resolve all queries. So do Group Raghunath, any queries from your side, sir?
Thakur sir, there are no queries. There is no queries in the chat box as well. We have seen that. We will pass all the queries that is over email.
Yeah, if there is no query, then we can wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
I request all startup once again. Even if your query is not there right now, even if you have some queries in future, please feel free to give those queries to us. Say for 2 days, 3 days, we are open to queries. Whatever queries there, we'll try to resolve all queries before you give your proposals. But my only humble request is before you give your proposal, please try to be clear. What are you talking about? There is no ambiguity in our requirement, our expectation, and the proposal what you give.
Sir, this is Sushant here. I have a query, sir.
Yeah, tell us, please.
Sir, just want to know what is the selection process means for the IDEX? What is the selection process? I've done it in past last year, but I haven't got to know that whether I'm selected or not. You know, I'm in the field of tourism and hospitality. You know, where we are getting a platform. It is an AI-based algorithm platform where the different travel agents can book their rooms for the hotels directly, maybe the Taj or
Mr. Sushant, just to interfere, actually, yes, this was a technical outreach for development of rubberized fuel tank for storage of aviation turbine fuel.
Yes, sir. Sir, just a minute. Just a minute.
in case if you have like some queries or like if you have some proposal, so you can send directly to itex.dio, and this is only for this particular technical outreach, because like we have like invited.
It has a technical agenda also, sir. It has a technical agenda.
Regarding the problem statement, you can ask.
Yes, sir, because the foreign agent who books the hotels to the online, to the travel agents in India, and then they can book through all those rooms through our channel. So, you know, there's a lot of security things which are
Hi,
involved.
Mr. Sushant,
Yes, sir.
we understand that in the
Yes, sir.
context
Yes.
of
Okay.
current statement, we
Yes, sir.
would not be answering this right away. But
Yes, sir.
please
Yes,
feel
ma'am.
free to call the IDEX office and we'll resolve it for you.
Fine, ma'am.
For this session, thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, DAD and the project officer to join in. We will collect any queries that we received over email and send it to DAD. Thank you, everybody.
Excuse me, ma'am. Just give them some window for that for 2-3 days, so that some time limits you can provide us at 2-3 days, 4 days, whatever you can give to them, so that queries can be raised and resolved within the prescribed timeline.
Sir, the deadline is till 11th November. We will follow up with you as usually we do.
That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.